Welcome to Sports Talk with RKJ. I'm your host, Steve Risser, with my co-host, Justin D'Onofrio and Kyle Galuli. And for the first time in almost 11 years since the 2008 U.S. Open, Tiger Woods won a major on Sunday, and what a day it was at the Masters. It was too bad it got pushed up 3 hours. I think that hurt the ratings a little bit, but what a day it was at the Masters. That was just such a great day at the Masters, such a great day for golf. Tiger Woods, after all he's been through the last 10 years, wins the Masters, and just a great day for golf.
Yeah, it was. He played pretty much like his old Tiger, his old self, and that shot on 16 where he put that thing like 15 feet from the hole, you could see that was like the clincher right there. That was a beautiful shot. He looked really good. He looked like his prime self, and he could have a huge year coming up now.
And I was at one point, because about the maybe hole 8 to 12 range when I forgot his name, Francisco Molinelli. Yeah, Molinari. Yeah, Molinari. He was up, I believe, 2 or 3 strokes at one point. I'm like, and it felt like, I remember I saw Tom Brady tweet this. How are you supposed to beat this guy if he doesn't make mistakes? And then everything at that point he did was a mistake. He kept, I think it was it hole 11 or 12 where there was 3-4 people that got double bogey on that. It's at this point you're that let's at that point it's the golf gods are Tiger, take this. We're trying to give you a Masters. Come on. It's just but it felt like it was the old Tiger. He had swagger, and there's just something I feel like with him in his traditional Sunday get up in his clothes where it's it puts him in just that zone of old Tiger, and it was pretty close. I'm happy because I'll watch the big tournaments, Masters, the U.S. Open. I'll watch the end of this. I'm not genuinely rooting for someone. I wasn't genuinely rooting for Tiger. I'm please don't pull us, please don't pull us, please don't pull us. Come on. And he didn't. I was yeah, freaking out. And I'm thank God, because that guy's gone through a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's he had 2008. He won the U.S. Open on a torn ACL. 2010, neck injury. 2011, sprained MCL and Achilles injury. 2012, another Achilles injury. 2014, 15, 17, back surgery. 3 back surgeries. Now, 2019, won the Masters. And at one point, the lowest he was ranked was 1,199th in December 2017. Goes from that to winning the Masters. You saw all his golfers after he won, when he's walking into, I'm not sure the name of the house, but where they give the green jacket and do that, the interview with Jim Nance. Every golfer that was there was genuinely happy. They weren't faking happiness. They were genuinely happy and rooting for him. You saw every sports, icon that there was, and sports player in general was rooting for Tiger. Steph Curry was happy. Serena Williams was happy. Everyone was happy. And it's just, I think everyone in the world genuinely was happy for Tiger Woods.
Oh, it was a great day, and I mean, after all he's been through too. This was such a great sports story. Probably one of the greatest sports stories I've ever seen. Coming from where he came from 10 years ago to now, it's just an unbelievable story. You never thought this day would happen, and it did. Just a great story for Tiger Woods.
Yeah, it was. It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's gotta be one of the best sports stories, and he's getting now the presidential Medal of Honor.
Yeah,
so that's a big award to get.
Yeah, and I will say a lot of the stuff though that happened to Tiger, it was his fault. The injuries are the injuries, but you could tell that took a toll on him. But it really was the stuff, with him, cheating on his wife and all that stuff that literally that somehow just destroyed him. He went from God to average at best for 10 years. And the fact that I forget what the tournament was, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. He's playing with Rory McIlroy, and they're walking to one of the later holes, and the camera. So they're walking towards the camera, and all you see is just a wall of fans behind him on the course just walking with them, and it just felt like the old Tiger. That was the start of it. This is the finish of the old Tiger, but it finally got to the point of him being old Tiger, and everyone's happy.
Definitely. So we'll go on to the NBA, and we'll start with the playoffs this week. And how about those Celtics up 2-0 on the Pacers? And let me tell you, Kyrie Irving was outstanding in the fourth quarter last night. He had a great fourth quarter. The Celtics trailed by 11 going into the fourth quarter. They ended up winning the game by 8 points, 99-91. Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum stepped up, and yes, the Pacers are without Victor Oladipo. That is a big loss in the series, and I think the Celtics will win this in 5. I mean, I just don't see any way that the Pacers win the series now, down 0-2. And I mean, even if they win all the games in Indiana, they're still going to have to win a game in Boston, and they're going to have a very hard time winning a game in Boston without Victor Oladipo. So I'm saying Celtics in 5, and I think they move on. They'll probably face the Bucks. Look at the way the Bucks are beating the Pistons right now.
Yeah, I think the Celtics will win the same 5. Jason Tatum played pretty well too. Defense, Sunday they gave up 8 points in the third quarter, which I never thought I'd see that in an NBA game where
was like
team gives up less than 10 points.
That was like 04. That's like 04 Pistons.
Yeah, but obviously who's scoring on the
yeah,
Pistons?
But that's what it felt like, and then it was just like I remember seeing it like looking because you never I don't want to say you don't look at, looking okay how many did they score, and all of a sudden you kind of looked at the end, I was like, 8 points. Not bad. Golf clap for you guys.
Yeah. So.
Okay, but the one thing I was, most surprised about is that generally scoring-wise, it really only was Tatum and Kyrie Irving that were giving you big points. I mean, Tatum with 26, as we know, Kyrie Irving with 37, and Gordon Hayward gave you 13. Other than that, it was like 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, 5, and 6. So, and someone like Horford, even though he didn't have a great, scoring night, which expecting him to go off for 20 plus, I mean, will be appreciated, but he did grab 10 rebounds. Essentially everyone was rebound. Everyone that played got rebounds. I mean, there was 2 rebounds by Baines, and there was 4, 10, 6, 9, and off the bench it was 4, 2, 5, 6. So overall, it was pretty good. And this is one of those games. If you're the Pacers, it hurts because you were up. What was it? About 13 to 15 range. You can't. I don't care if it's on the road. You can't let that go. That if you have a chance, which at that point, if they won, they would have had somewhat of a chance. I mean, it's 1-1 at that point. You have a chance, but now they have no chance of winning the series, and that's going to kill you when they're sitting at home after the series. If they lose, they're going to look back at game 2, and that's going to kill them, thinking we blew this series at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that was the problem. The Pacers had to win that game last night, especially with the lead they had. Yes, they're coming back to Indiana, but still, I just can't see without their best player them winning that series. I just can't see the Pacers winning that. Justin?
Yeah, there's no way. They had a lead 2 at halftime on Sunday, and they only scored 8 points the next quarter, and they got outscored by 26-8. So, yeah, even the first game, you kind of said it was only a 5-point lead, but you still blew it, especially only scoring 8 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie Irving, you saw this whole game. He was just on everyone. Even if you had good defense, he'd hit that that fadeaway. He's backing down a little bit, hit you with that fadeaway, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's good defense, but grade out. Nothing you can do.
Yes. So the Nets and the Sixers resume their first-round series tonight in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. The series is tied 1-1. And the big difference for the Sixers in Game 2 from Game 1 was Ben Simmons really stepped up. He had a triple-double. He had 18 points. And when he plays this way, there's no way the Nets are really going to stand a chance in this series. If he plays the way he did on Saturday, they do. But if he plays the way he did on Monday night, there's no way the Nets stand a chance in the series. I like D'Angelo Russell a lot. I think he's turning into a superstar in this league. I mean, Karis LeVert is decent, and Spencer Dinwiddie have had pretty good series so far for the Nets. But if Ben Simmons plays the way he did on Monday night, the Nets don't stand a chance in this series. Even though it's 1-1, I still think the Sixers win it in 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I think the Sixers are good. I think I'll go with 16. I think Brooklyn will win either Game 3 or Game 4. They'll take one at home. Well, yeah, when Ben Simmons plays like that, there's no way. And even with Embiid, I think now, because Saturday he still wasn't 100%, I don't think. But now that he was 100% Monday night, he had 23 and 10 points. It's going to be hard to stop him down low. Jared Allen's going to have a tough time guarding him down low, too. But the Nets got points from their bench with Hollis Jefferson scored 15, LeVert scored 13.
Yeah, we could talk about their bench points, Justin. But are we really considering LeVert a bench player? I mean, he's playing starter minutes. I mean, he just comes off the bench. He's playing starter minutes.
Yeah, he played 20 minutes. Then did Willie? He scored 19. Shabazz coming off the bench with 13.
Oh, come on. In a game they lost by 20 points. Come on.
Their bench steps up.
Yeah, that is a reason. I'll give you that. That is a reason the Nets are as good as they are is because they're bench. I'll give you that.
Yeah, they're deep. They played with 7 guys. So they played 12 guys, right? 7 or 8 guys they played. So they're deep.
But here's the problem. From like player 2 to player 7, there's no real difference. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah,
if you were drafting a team, if you're drafting the top 5 guys in the series, you're easily taking 4 of those guys from the Sixers. You're easily taking Ben Simmons. You're taking Joel Embiid. You're taking Tobias Harris, and you're taking Jimmy Butler. You're taking those 4 guys, and obviously you take D'Angelo Russell too. But still, you're taking those 4 guys before you ever take one of those players, and that's outside of D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, and that's good. That's the difference this year. It's talent. That the Sixers are 5. I think right now probably the best one. Now with Cousins out for the Warriors, I think that's the best starting 5.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I still think Warriors are the best starting 5 without DeMarcus, but that is a very good starting 5. I mean, you have, like you said, you have Tobias Harris, phenomenal player. Embiid, one of the better, if not the best, big men in the league when he's healthy. Ben Simmons, I mean, we know he's talented. Can he shoot? No, we know that, but that's where the weakness of his game, that people can exploit it and ultimately defeat the Sixers. Butler, very good. You can see he's one of the players that I feel like you can appreciate the work that he put in, because he came in the league and he was more of a defensive guy, and he worked himself up into a borderline, if not a superstar. And then J.J. Redick, guy, ultimate 3-point guy who can just, he's just hauling it around screens the whole court all game, and it's good luck stopping him. It's like a Richard Hamilton reincarnated, it feels like. And then the thing with the Nets in Game 1 when they won, I feel like the Sixers probably said that, okay, they won Game 1. The Nexers think, they have a chance. Let's actually show them. Let's show them 76ers ball. And then they put 145 on them. That starting 5 for the Sixers just destroyed them. I mean, 23 by Embiid, 19 by Tobias Harris, 18 by Ben Simmons, triple-double by Ben Simmons. You have Scott off the bench with 15. Then Boban with 16, which is, I mean, if they have Boban in the game instead of J.J. Redick, I think they're the shortest person on that team. And that starting 5 at that point would be 6'7".
Yeah.
What do you do at that point? They're all athletic. I mean, except for Boban's not that athletic, but he's just big. But everyone at that point, other than him, is super athletic. But good luck. I think it could be going 6, but I'm not feeling great about that. But yeah, the Nets at this point, it was cute Game 1. It ain't happening the rest of the series.
Yeah, it looks like the Sixers are definitely going to win this series. A big game tonight. We'll see what happens tonight in Brooklyn, but it looks like the Sixers are on track to win this series. So the Raptors and Magic are tied at a game apiece, but this is another series that I think the Raptors win still pretty easy. I still think they win in 5 because Vucevic has not stepped up for the Magic so far. He's had a bad series. Augustine came down to earth last game, scoring 9 points. He had that big game in Game 1 where he had 25, but he had 9 points last night. He's came back down to earth. And for the Raptors, I mean, Kawhi Leonard was outstanding on Tuesday night, 37 points. And then Kyle Lowry stepped up. Kyle Lowry was terrible in Game 1, had 22 points in Game 2. And I think if he continues to play, not even as good as he did in Game 2, but he just continues to be decent, I still think the Raptors win the series, and they win it pretty easily. I still think they win this series in 5 games.
Yeah, I'll take him in 5 right now. It's if Lowry plays like that, and that was a nice bounce back. Yeah, he really could have. Looked like he went
0 points.
Yeah, it looked like he went out the last couple days in Brighton. Found his shot again. Didn't let it get to him. So yeah, he played really well. And Danny Green didn't really do much. She was 0-for-4 in that game. If they could, and so they won by 30. Kawhi put up almost 37 points. So, this is a good Raptors team, and Orlando needs Vucevic just good at going. Aaron Gordon's been playing pretty well, but that's Augustine came down to earth. If he could play like he did at Game 1, you really can give yourself a great shot. But I don't know if that's happening. I think those days are behind them. So I think Raptors will probably win this in 5.
Yeah, I'm with the Raptors in 5. I mean, Game 2, Siakam gives you a double-double, 10 rebounds, 19 points, obviously. Kawhi Leonard, 37 points, big man of the game. with also chipping in with 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Shot 50% from the 3-point line, and then you have Kyle Lowry finally, like you said, stepped up from 0 points, which is to me is the reason why the Raptors, other than LeBron James before when he was in the East, he's like he's always like the weak point of the team, because some games he kind of show up, and then some games he just be god awful. And it's just when he's god awful, especially you being a point guard, you can't even if you don't have a great scoring game, you gotta distribute and at least be effective in that too, because otherwise you're a complete detriment to the team, and you're the reason why they could lose games and ultimately potentially the series. But he did put up 22 points with giving you 7 assists and 4 rebounds. Ibaka chipped in with 13 points and 8 rebounds off the bench. So I think it's kind of like a similar thing with the Nets and the Sixers. Magic finally came down to earth, and I feel like it's gonna be over in 5.
Yeah, the series will be over in 5. A series that will probably be over in 4 is the Bucks and Pistons. No Blake Griffin, and yes, the Pistons were winning last night at halftime, but in the second half, the Bucks completely took over, and it looks like this will be a very, very short series with the Bucks sweeping the Pistons.
Yeah, well, man, Drummond 18 and 16. Like Luke Kennard actually stepped up. He had 19. Jackson played. He had 18 points, 18 assists. Blake, no Blake. I don't think they'd, win this series with Blake. But the games would be more competitive. It might even be a sweep, but the games would be a lot more. The games would be more competitive than that. I think maybe the Pistons could win a game at home.
What is his injury too? I feel like he's always hurt when it comes to big games. It's like, do you want to give that guy money? I don't know. Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
That's fine, but and then Don Makers took his place, and he scored 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 2 for 9 from the field in 21 minutes, and 2 of his 6 points were from the line. So when you replace him with Blake with Don Maker, that's really what you're gonna get. So they're just the Bucks with Giannis too. It's unstoppable. Chris Middleton had 24 points. Giannis had 26 points, 12 rebounds, and then Eric Bledsoe put up 27 last night. So, Bledsoe can, keep having games like that, and Bucks will be fine.
Yeah, and then also off the Bucks bench was Pat Connaughton, I think.
Connaughton. He was drafted by the Orioles too.
And he had 18 points off the bench. So when someone's giving you a guy that you're not expecting all that much from, but he gives you 18 points and 9 rebounds off the bench, along with Bledsoe with 27, 6 and 4, Middleton with 24, 8 and 5, and then Greek Freak with 26 and 12, and they actually made a 3. So golf clap for that. But at that point, they're borderline unbeatable until it comes to a team like the Warriors, because you have when someone's going on the bench, you're expecting Giannis, Middleton to give you something. You can expect Bledsoe to give you a pretty good game every now and then. But when you get stuff like that from people off the bench, it's like, what are you gonna do at that point? They're, like I said, they're unbeatable. So good luck to Detroit, but this is gonna be a hot 4-0.
Yeah, Connaughton too played at Notre Dame. I remember him at Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, you probably remember that team that almost upset Kentucky that year, 2015.
Yeah, that was a good team.
Oh yeah, it was. It definitely was. I think Jaren Grant was on that team too.
Oh yeah. I think he was. I thought he was older. He played with Aaron Goody, but no, I was wrong. But I do remember playing.
Yeah, but real quick, if Boston and the Bucks end up winning, even though Boston was inconsistent, they could play how they're doing in playoffs. That's going to be a very, very good series. It's going to be a very good round 2 series.
Especially how good Boston is defensively. The Bucks put up a lot of points, so it'd be very interesting to see. Could Boston slow them down? Can they slow down Giannis?
And the one thing that I feel that could be a potential, I don't know what's the right word, potential detriment to the. So I feel when it comes down to clutch situation, obviously you want to put the ball in Kyrie's hands. If you're the Bucks, who are you going to put on Kyrie? I'm putting Giannis all day. Good luck shooting over Giannis. You're not faster than him. We all know he ain't stronger than him. We all know he ain't taller than him. We all know we don't have the reach of him and the length of him. Good luck.
Yes. So we move over to the Western Conference, and it got a little bit interesting this week, especially with the Warriors. DeMarcus Cousins looked like he's out for the entire postseason with torn left quadricep muscle. I think he's going to be sidelined for the entire prior postseason.
There goes all of his money.
Oh yes, yeah. Good luck getting a max deal next year.
His agent was like, no.
Going on breakaway too.
you honestly, even though he's a little bit of a pain, I feel bad for him. It's like, because what he bought, wasn't his Achilles? It was the first time. And now this, it's like, you're going to have to do another 1-year deal again to maybe even get a chance. But
go back to Golden State. But yeah, and that's like, I liked him when he was on Sacramento until he started crying about, no, I want to be traded and all that. And I know why, but I do feel bad.
Were you a Cousins guy when he was there?
Yeah, I loved him, but until he started crying about everything.
Yeah, about the organization, even though they deserved.
He was right.
Yeah, he was right about it.
He's
yeah.
right. I kind of, I felt like we could build something off with him, but. No, he was done with that. But yeah, I do feel bad for him. So he's a terrific player.
Oh, absolutely. But you saw the Warriors blow that 31-point lead, and the Clippers beat them. And what the heck's going on with Kevin Durant? How are you letting Patrick Beverley get in your head? You're like one of the best players in the game. Yes, Patrick Beverley's an intense defender, but how are you letting him get in your head? I don't get that at all.
The press gets in his head too. It seems like. I don't know.
But didn't you see the interview where they asked him a question? It might have been about Patrick. I forgot exactly what the question is, but it might have been about Patrick Beverley, and he gave a very good and eloquent answer, and a very well thought out answer and explained answer. And it seems like if you could get that Kevin Durant, that one maybe 30-second answer, it seemed like that was a Kevin Durant that had the right mindset, that wasn't distracted by the outside noise and all that. It's like, if you could be that Kevin Durant, that dude would be the best player in the league, and it wouldn't be close at that point. Problem is, his mindset is as soft as Charmin. It's like, I don't understand why are you so easily not influenced, but upset by the press? But yet there's the rumblings about you wanting to go to New York. How do you think that's going to work out again? The press in New York is probably the heaviest, toughest, hardest that there is, and probably in all of the U.S. and all of the NBA. You're going to get destroyed, roasted, and you're mentally going to get drained at that point. But you have a 31-point lead to the Clippers. How?
You gave up 85 points in 24 minutes in the second half. I don't know how you do it.
Here's the thing. I was watching that game.
Obviously with no Tobias Harris. It's like they have Lou Williams, but who after that?
I was watching that game, and I just went to bed at halftime. I thought there's no way the Clippers are going to win, and I was shocked. When it was Justin's text, I was shocked that the Clippers won the game. I was in shock. And they played a night in Game 3 in LA, but I still think it's going to be Warriors in 5. I think with Curry, Klay Thompson, and Durant, I think they get back at it, and I think they still win the series in 5.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of these games where the Warriors are just blow them up by 40. They're gonna come out. They're gonna be ready to play. They're not. It's gonna be one of those games they're just not gonna miss a shot. It's gonna be one of those nights. I feel like.
Why not have when obviously Beverly's following Durant around? Why not just have Draymond set some screens on the guy? I don't know if that's what they're, at least mix it in, because Draymond, he's tough. He'll set an illegal, possibly an illegal screen, give him the little extra shove, and that gives Durant enough space, rise up, 3-ball, drained it. Do something.
Kerr doesn't really coach much, it looks like.
Yeah, I feel Kerr.
Critical of Steve Kerr.
It's not like it's necessary. He knows that he has smart plays, but at the same time, yeah, I kind of get the feeling too, where he's just he'll sit there and be like, yeah, they know what they're doing. Yeah, he coaches them in practice, but in the game, it's like he's like, yeah, they know what they're doing. I have Steph Curry and Clay, I have Durant.
Yeah, they'll figure out a way.
I have Draymond. Just have DeMarcus Cousins.
Because at home, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like with that good of a team, you can't blow out 31 points, especially in the playoffs. Come on.
I mean, it is game 2 in the first round.
Yeah, and I know you're playing the 8-seeded Clippers, but it's come on.
It's 31 points.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Gallinari on the team. He's nice, but it's not whoa, Gallinari. Beverly can't score that much. He's just an irritant on defense. I mean, Montrezl Harrell gave them 25 and 10. Who was guarding that man?
Louisville. I know.
Who was guarding that man?
Oh yeah, I remember. He was on the national championship.
Yeah. No, wait. What?
I think he was. He was on the team. I think he was a freshman on that national championship team. Yeah, I mean, technically not, but we don't need to go. We don't need to go off with the NCAA thing. Yeah.
But whoever's guarding that man, you better be running some extra laps or something, because 25 and 10. What are you doing? And 36 points from Lou Williams. Like,
He's such an underrated player.
it's like he's, to me, the way he's been playing ever since, the past, maybe like 4 to 5 years, he's like Manu Ginobili but souped up. You can actually give you, like, you're not really expecting Manu trying to give you 36. Lou Williams can, and he's 36 and 11, and that's coming off your bench. And can we be honest? Can we just start the man? Why is he coming off the bench?
I think it's just better. It's just better off for him. I think Doc just likes doing it that way.
Oh, and maybe they just want Beverly just to be an irritant to Durant, which,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why. I mean, I got no problem. We've seen what happened.
Yeah, going now to a team and a player that could knock out the Warriors this year, and I'm starting to think that, and that's the Houston Texans, the Houston Rockets. I mean, James Harden has been outstanding so far in the playoffs. He's like unguardable. I mean, him bringing the ball up, and I said this earlier in the year, you can't have Chris Paul bringing the ball up. You got to have James. You got to have Chris Paul play off the ball so James Harden can control everything in that offense. You look at what happens when he controls everything in that offense. That team looks really, really good, and that's a team that I think could knock out the Warriors. The way they're playing right now.
To me, you can have it with Chris Paul, but at that point, you're running like pick and roll with him and Clint Capella.
Yeah, but
that's what you got.
But when you have James Harden, he drives to the basket.
Yeah.
And he lobs it up to Capella for the dunks, and that play is turning into being the Jazz have no answer for that play.
Yeah, you can almost run like two offenses, like James Harden just get out of the way offense, which works. You can run pick and roll if you need to because James Harden can pass, or then you can run the offense with Chris Paul. Pick and roll with Clint Capella, and all the other big men on the squad. But it's like insane to see how good James Harden is. I mean, 32 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. I mean, and he shot 6 of 13 from 3 outs. You'd like to see him make better percentage, but I mean, I can't complain with the rest of his game that he had. PJ Tucker giving him 16 points. You have Chris Paul giving them 17. You have Eric Gordon giving them 16. I mean, Bench didn't do anything like spectacular in terms of scoring, but Free did give them 7 rebounds, 7 points. House Jr. over here giving them 8 points. Austin Rivers giving them 8 points, but I think we all know that it was going to be just demolish. They were going to just demolish the Jazz because, let's be honest, they just aren't talented enough like the Rockets. And I think we can all agree. We wish we could see Houston, Golden State in the conference finals.
Yep.
But it's gonna be second round. I mean, it happens. That's what happens when the Rockets, blow it at the end of the.
They didn't really structure their team the way they should have this year. They should have Harden bring the ball up all year.
And I don't think they really care because they want to we want to play Golden State. I think I think you might take more satisfaction in beating them in the second round than you beat them in the conference finals. Because you went from back-to-back champs to now out in the second round. They're taking enjoyment, but this team is very good and they have a legitimate chance.
They are, and Harden's playing unbelievable. But on the other side, Donovan Mitchell's he struggled last night. He struggled last night. He's 5 for 18 in the field, only 11 points. He needs to have a better shooting night. He's 1 for 8 as well from 3-point shot. So he needs to. He's gonna need to step up. He's got to be the guy to step up for Utah if they have any chance to win Game 3 or 4. Favorites played pretty well, 14-12, and Gobert had 11-12. They don't. At times they just don't really. They had 4 guys in Delaferia, but nothing like Mitchell can get up there to 25 point, 30. They may need a performance like that from Game 3 or Game 4 to get them maybe back in the series.
Well, and other than Donovan Mitchell, who do they have that you think can consistently score?
No. Because Gobert is a good defensive player, but he's not a good scorer.
Yeah, and Favors is.
I think
It's like
Ruby had 17 with a shot. Rubio's not a big scorer. Usually he's more of a.
Yeah, he's one of those guys I feel like though they could sag off more. So it's like the pick and roll, which could be effective. Possibly with Rivers, or Gobert. It's like. I mean, at that point, it's just deemed that's useless at that point. But they had a legitimate second option. Like, let's just say someone, I don't know, like someone on the bench, like Crowder was giving them 20 points, or Ingles could get them something like 20 points. They'd have a chance to make it interesting. I wouldn't say they won, but they'd have a chance to make it interesting. But they don't. So I mean, it's gonna be in the end a hot 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 4-1, 4-0 or 4-1, but I don't think the Jazz aren't winning this
it
series.
depends on if for 4 straight games if Harden genuinely cares.
Yeah. So we go on to the Spurs and the Nuggets. This has been a good series so far. I mean, the Spurs were up pretty big in Game 2, but the Nuggets were able to come back and win. Spurs won Game 1. And, I mean, the Spurs, yes, they're good, but they're, as I said, an outdated NBA team. They got Marcus Aldridge, back to the basket player. And then you got DeMar DeRozan. He had 31 points on Tuesday night. How many threes did he attempt in the game?
Zero.
That is not the way you win in today's NBA. I mean, Harden. DeRozan had 31 points is really good, but if they're all twos, you don't have a good chance of beating really good NBA teams in today's NBA. And Jamal Murray really stepped up especially at the end of the game on Tuesday night. I mean, Jokic stepped up.
21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, that's big. Jokic stepped up. Millsap stepped up. And, I think this is going to still be a really, really tight series going forward because of the Nuggets' lack of experience and the Spurs' experience. But I still think at the end of the day, it's going to be the Nuggets winning the series in 7.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets will take it game 6 or 7, and for the Nuggets, their starters gave them over 80 points. 4 of them scored over 20 points. So their starters have really played well, especially Murray in that fourth quarter. And the Spurs, of course the Spurs aren't that big. They're not what the rest of the NBA yet. Take the three. They were 5 for 18 from 3-pointers, which I don't really. They got to shoot a little bit better. Aldridge playing well. DeRozan kind of 31 points. He was 9 for 9 from the line. I guess he scored 31 points. It doesn't really matter how you get it. So 31 points. But Derek White too, a kid that I really never heard of, has the starting point guard. Has played pretty well. 17 points. Yeah. So I think at home, and the Spurs should be up 2-0. So I want to kind of see how they come out tonight. Cause they should, they should be in control of the series right now, and I feel like they will get the win tonight at home. I feel like they should get the win. I feel like they'll take tonight. I think they'll beat them tonight, but I still think Nuggets probably will beat them 7.
I'm going to go at this point Nuggets in 7 as well. I mean, like you said, Aldridge gave him 24, White gave him 17, DeRozan gave him 31. Something like if Rudy Gay could step up, he played 28 minutes and only gave him 5 points. 9 rebounds is nice, but if you're playing that much with someone that can score like Rudy Gay, you need to be giving me more. You need to be at least giving me 10 minimum. Like you said, Millsap with for the Nuggets, Millsap with 20, Joker with 21, Murray 24, 21, 21 of them in the fourth, and then Harris with 23, and then you have Morris giving you something with 11 off the bench, Beasley giving them 8 off the bench, so something. But like you said, if without Murray going insane in the fourth quarter, it'd be a 2-0 series. For the Spurs, and they'd be going to San Antonio. At that point, it's not looking great. So if you're the Nuggets, you're feeling relieved. You're not feeling great right now. You're feeling relieved because we're not down 2-0. We're it's tied 1-1. But at this point, you gotta become more of a consistent team because if you want to rely on someone going insane in the fourth quarter, whether anyone on your team against Greg Popovich, that ain't a formula you're gonna win with. So you need to be more consistent, quick. But it's gonna be a great 7-game series.
Yes, I agree there. And now the last series we'll talk about, the Blazers up 2-0 over the Thunder. Yes, I did pick the Thunder in 6 originally, but I got to change my pick because you got to be getting annoyed with Russell Westbrook. He is an overrated player. He's a stat patter. 5 for 20 the other night. He didn't really change his game. He doesn't shoot threes. He drives the ball to the hoop. And yes, he puts up triple doubles, but in this era of the NBA, how huge are triple doubles? This is proving that the triple doubles are overrated, and it seems like
it's how you get the triple doubles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Harden gets a decent amount.
Yeah.
He's scoring from 3 a lot.
Yeah. But the problem is Westbrook isn't.
And can't. Not even isn't. He flat out can't shoot.
No. He flat out can't shoot at all, and he's proven again how he's on his way to losing his 3rd consecutive first-round series, being the best player in the Thunder. Since Durant's left, it looks like the Thunder are not going to win a playoff series, and for the Blazers, Lillard and McCollum have been really good for them in this series so far.
Yeah, and McCollum, who wasn't, kind of like he wasn't be 100%, but he looks pretty healthy right now to me. 33 points the other night, low with 29. Maurice Harkless stepped up with 14 and 9 rebounds. So, Portland's played pretty well, and that proved me wrong. But yeah, Russell Westbrook is really 5 or 20 the other night. I don't know if with all the triple doubles he gets and averaging a triple double, it is still pretty impressive. I know he's not a big scorer, and I know he gets it's like 16, 10, and 10. It is still pretty impressive to me that he does it every night, and I know it hasn't really translated shooting well in the playoffs, but he's still a terrific player. Paul George at 27, Adams at 16, but Jeremy Grant played 30 minutes at 5 points, and then Terry Ferguson at 7. They don't really have that another option, and that's what I think it kills them, right? It's killing them, and then nobody on the bench scored more than 10 points. Yeah, that's the reason why.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's they need another guy that's that's a scorer. Yeah, they really do, and I think they're gonna lose in 5 now.
I was with you guys. I thought Thunder were gonna win, but I'm picking Portland. I think it could go 6, but it's gonna be 5 or 6. But Portland is gonna win. But the main problem for the Thunder, especially in terms of Russell Westbrook, is the 3-point shooting. Like I said, they were 5 of 28 from the 3-point line. That's god awful. Paul George 2 for 7. He can actually legitimately shoot threes, but 2 for 7, you need better. Grant getting an 0 for 5. Awful. Russell Westbrook 1 for 6. Awful. Ferguson 1 for 5. Awful. Other than that, it was Morris with 1 for 1. No, the only other person that made a 3 off the bench. Everyone else didn't make anything or didn't attempt one. But the things for Lillard and McCollum, they were always I felt like always one of those teams that would kind of go out quick, and people didn't really give them legitimate respect. Now they could beat the Thunder, and I think if they beat the Thunder, they'll make it to the conference finals, which could get ugly for them because it's going to either be Rockets or Golden State. We're thinking. So it's not going to be pretty fun, but Lillard, to me, clutchest player in the league. I feel like he says, it gets the damn thing. It's Dame time. He has the ball. He shoots the ball. To me, in my head, he's making it. And CJ McCollum, he could easily be the number 1 on any night. And it's not like Lillard's the 1, McCollum's the 2. Lillard's the 1, McCollum's also the 1. It's just they found a very good chemistry and cohesion that okay, if you have the hot hand, we'll go with you more. If McCollum has a hand, we'll go with you more. Lillard has it, we'll go with him. Or if they both have it, like this game, 29 points for Lillard, 33 for McCollum. But at this point, OKC, they have no chance. You think at this point Paul George is regretting signing that contract though with OKC? Because to me, I would. Money's money. That much money, you can't be mad at that. That's nice. Let's be honest, he's probably getting that from anyone. And now you're going to be probably perennial one and maybe go to second round at best, unless they get something drastic like a lot of shooting. But other than that, we're going to be out of blast. You have no chance of a title.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll move on to the NFL, and Russell Wilson this week signed a 4-year, $140 million extension with the Seattle Seahawks, and that's $35 million a year. And as a Giant fan, if he became available, in a heartbeat, I would give up those 2 first-round picks to get him because he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, and you need to pay him what he wants to get paid.
Yeah, you do. And Daniel Orlovsky was saying the other day on SportsCenter, with how bad their line is, is he a guy that you would pay for? Would you pay?
And their line wasn't terrible last year. It got a little bit better.
Yeah, it did. But he was saying, would you pay 4 or 5 other guys, or would you just play Russell Wilson? He's like, with that team, I just probably put Russell because that's pretty much with how bad the line is. He keeps you in a lot of games. He really does with that line, and he keeps them. Last year they were in playoff contention for a while. They were in it for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, they even made the playoffs. They were in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah,
the Seahawks. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know, but yeah. So that wasn't really a playoff team to me. I didn't think, but
Yeah, without Russell, they ain't won much.
yeah. So you gotta pay him. That team I don't think would have won more than 5 games without him. If that was not their quarterback.
Not at all.
Okay, well, the main thing with Russell Wilson was smart, which again, I'll say this till the day I die. If I have a quarterback that has the ability to run, let's say kind of like a Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield to an extent, someone like especially Lamar Jackson, I'm putting on Russell Wilson tape and show them. Listen to what this guy says. Listen to what he does off the field, on the field, because this guy never gets hit. He is running a ton, obviously, because his O-line is borderline Swiss cheese. He never gets hit hard. He'll slide. He'll go out of bounds. He's not gonna. Oh, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. He tried to get an extra 2 yards. Now I don't think it was because of him getting hit, but he tore his ACL. Russell Wilson, he's getting out of bounds. On to the next play. But at this point, if you're paying quarterback that much, how much of a team can you build around? That's just the only issue.
Yeah.
Is you don't know if you could build a perennial Super Bowl contender around it. But I don't blame him because the guy needed to get paid. The dude is. Excuse me, one of the best quarterbacks that there is or are in the league. He can throw. He's very good with deep ball, which is probably his best trait to me. And I feel like this kind of shows they're finally done with the thing of where early in his career it was like the Legion Boom. They were the vocal leaders and leaders of the whole team. Now it's to Russell Wilson, and it's his team. But I didn't like what they did last year, where they. Even though they have Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, they didn't pass a ton with him because they know their offensive line is not built for that. So if you're not built for that, I don't want you to do it 40 times a game like, you're the Chiefs and have him get smacked. It's not going to work out. They did draft Rashad Penny in the first round. They were using him, pro site, and I think it might have been one other guy, but they were becoming more of a running team using
Chris Carson, too.
Yeah, Chris. Yep, that was the other guy. And using that Russell was more as a compliment, which for the team the way that they're built is an effective thing and actually a viable option. But I mean, hey, get your money, man. $35 million a year. I don't blame him.
Exactly. So the schedule came out. Yesterday, and we got some interesting matchups. We'll start with Week 1. We got the Packers and the Bears. 100th anniversary of the NFL. The Packers and Bears playing the first game at Soldier Field. So Pats open their season, and they always give them a nice win to open the season. That should be the same this year as they host the Steelers on the first Sunday night of the year. Week 2 is a big matchup. You got the Saints going to the Rams, a rematch of the NFC Championship game.
I cannot wait for that.
Also in Week 2, you got OBJ's return to MetLife Stadium, not against the Giants, against the Jets, as they'll face Sam Darnold and the New York Jets on Monday Night Football. Week 8, you got the Browns, another big game, not a primetime game, another big game, a 4:25 CBS game. Nance and Romo will be calling this one. You got the Browns in New England to face the Patriots, so OBJ will head to New England to face the Patriots. That'll be really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You also got, that Sunday night, you got probably the two best quarterbacks in the NFL squaring off against each other, as you got Aaron Rodgers going up against Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Those are probably the two best quarterbacks right now in the league squaring off against. Yeah, we know, Kyle, but right now those are probably the two best quarterbacks in the league going up against each other in Kansas City.
High flying.
Yes. Week 11, you got another big one, another Nance game. Probably Nance and Romo will be calling when the Pats head to Philadelphia to face the Eagles in a rematch of Super Bowl 52. Carson Wentz this time will get a chance to face the Patriots. He didn't last time, but it didn't matter to the Eagles because the Eagles won that game. Yeah. But yeah, so Carson Wentz against Tom Brady, that should be a really good game. And then that Monday night from Mexico City, you got the Chiefs and Chargers. That should also be a really good game. And Week 14 is another big one, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. We'll see if Mahomes outplays Brady again, even though the Patriots won. As the Chiefs, will Kyle be there again as they head to Foxborough to face the Patriots?
Oh, trust me, if I'm being there, I'm screaming stuff at Andy Reid about the overtime.
Oh, you probably are. I bet you are. And then Week 16, the Steelers face the Jets, and that's Le'Veon Bell facing his old team with the Steelers. That'll be really, really interesting. So what's your take on some of those games, Justin?
There should be some good ones, there always be some, good game, but
on paper they're all good.
Yeah, I think the one Most excited one I think I'm for right now. I want to see that the Saints Rams. I don't know, just what happened with last year.
Right? Is it in?
It's in LA.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say if it was in New Orleans, good luck, refs.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I'm most excited right now for that game. I don't know why, but I think just what happened last year. I think the Saints are gonna, want to really put like a beat down on LA and really just show something.
What's his face? What's the head coach? For Saints. Champagne. He is not letting up on that gas pedal.
Yeah.
He is. If he has a chance, he's going to try to run up the score 70-0.
Yeah.
He's going to show them dominance at that point. But for me, other than the most and possibly the most impactful game could potentially be for the opening day for the Patriots, because with the Steelers, this is going to show, are the Steelers able to put the offseason where they lose Bell, one of the best backs, if not the best in the league, also in Tony Brown, one of the best, if not the best wide receivers in the league, are they going to finally turn the page and not be the team that is distracted by noise? Are they going to be one of the teams that actually, puts their head down and powers forward? That's going to be impactful. But other than a Patriots game, I feel like it's gonna be to me Chiefs Chargers, because that's gonna show more
than Chiefs Packers. You don't want to see a matchup of the two best quarterbacks.
I'm saying that's gonna mean the most for NFL, just because. Although I would like to see that game, because obviously it's gonna be high flying. I feel like it's gonna be an exciting game to watch. Although we don't know with Tyreek Hill, because with Tyreek Hill, I mean, you have Sammy Watkins. He's nice. You have Travis Kelce. He's really good, obviously. Other than that, So to me, it all depends with Tyreek Hill. But with the Chiefs and Chargers, we can really see, are they both going to be viable options to, be right there for the AFC Championship game? How are the Chargers going to bounce? Because the Chargers were one of the most, if not the most complete and talented rosters last year, and we saw what happened in the division round. They went to Foxborough and burnt like toast. They had no chance from the get-go. So we see how that's going to go. And, Chiefs are going to be at that point. But all these games are going to be exciting. The Thanksgiving Day games were a little bit of a letdown for me. I would like to see better. Bears, Lions, that could be okay. Yeah,
there's really not a great Thanksgiving Day game.
It could potentially the Lions. Who knows how they could be at that point? All depends.
The Saints, if the Falcons stay healthy, I think that could be a good one.
If Falcons are healthy, that's gonna be a fun game. But Bills, Cowboys. You could do better. I'm not trying to see Josh Allen, on Thanksgiving. I'm not trying to be eating my, turkey and mashed potatoes as I see Josh Allen sail a deep ball, 10 yards past the wide receiver. But other than that, it's going to be a fun year. And I love football. So close to the draft. And this is my favorite sport. I love it because there's even though the Patriots have a lot of times are in the Super Bowl, if not win the Super Bowl, there's so much parity in the NFL. And we're going to see this again. We'll see, because it's probably going to be a team that, rises up from the bottom of their division, possibly winning it and making some noise in the playoffs. And you never know. Obviously, you never know with injuries, how that could happen. Because, so let's say someone like Brady goes out. How is that going to affect the AFC? How is that going to affect the Patriots? It's going to be an exciting season. I cannot wait.
It definitely should be. It really should be really exciting. So we're going to go on to the Yankees and Red Sox this week, and the Yankees sweep the Red Sox in a quick 2-game series. And my takeaways from this series are, for the Red Sox, Chris Sale, I think this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem for the entire year. And you look at their offense, Mookie Betts has struggled. Really outside of J.D. Martinez, that entire offense has struggled. They're in the bottom.
Pretty good, too.
Yeah, Mitch Moreland's been decent. I'll give you that. You've been covering those Red Sox games, I see.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Yeah, so, I think offensively they haven't been as good. They're still in the bottom half of runs scored in all of baseball. Their starting rotation has been terrible so far, and their bullpen, even last night, Brazier gave up the grand slam to Brett Gardner. So it really, all around, it's been a really tough start for the Red Sox, and for the Yankees, they've had just a ton of injuries. You look at their injuries; it's almost borderline ridiculous. Luis Severino, Miguel Andujar, Giancarlo Stanton.
If Judge gets hurt, I'm done with this year. I'm hitting the fast forward button.
Troy Tulowitzki, Greg Bird, obviously Didi Gregorius. There are just so many injuries for the Yankees. Dylan Betances too. So many injuries, but still, I mean, the team still was able to sweep the Red Sox. James Paxton was outstanding on a Tuesday night. I mean, J.A. Happ.
Finally, the Paxton we were expecting.
Yeah, J.A. Happ wasn't great, but he had his best start of the season last night. The bullpen has started to pick it up. Ottavino's been good. Outside of that one outing, Chapman's been pretty good too. So I think the Yankees are starting to pick it up a little bit. Yeah, yes, they don't really have that ace in the rotation because you saw on Sunday with Tanaka. He was really good his first 3 starts, but he was not good at all on Sunday against the White Sox. So I think they're still missing that top flight guy in the rotation, and they will. That's why Luis Severino is such a big loss for this team. But you got a good start of the CC Sabathia on Saturday. Yeah. So the Yankees 8-9 holding their own with the injuries, but at 6-13, the defending champs, the Red Sox, are really, really struggling.
Yeah, and of course it's not panic mode yet because it is only April. But I think you have the second worst run differential right now in the league, only behind the Marlins at -49. Red Sox are -42.
Yeah, and the Marlins have Joe Schmo probably playing.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah, and Chris Sale, so his fastball velocity finally got up there on Tuesday night. It's his slider though. He can't throw that first. That's the pitch that he uses.
Yeah, makes his money.
And he can't. It's not there, and and I wonder if it's because it's all the starters, and they didn't really pitch a ton in the spring training. So do you wonder if it's rust, or is it an injury where you're going back to last year where he did go on the DL, now the IL, and everyone was like, no one knew what was going on. So is this, and then the lineup, Mookie Betts is just, I don't know what's going on with Mookie, but it's nothing like last year.
I think JD Martinez proving he should have been the MVP last year.
Yeah, and he was, well, I know, it should have been JD.
I still don't understand why Mookie won it over JD. That's me.
I was with JD Martinez too. I figured he should have won that thing.
Right there with you.
Then the Red Sox bullpen has just been awful. Last night, Nathan Eovaldi finally gave them a good start, and then the bullpen blows it.
Yeah, Eovaldi probably sitting there on the bench like,
no.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't think it's panic mode yet, but I really think they can't get this going in a week or two. Is this going to be a full year thing? Because it didn't even look like they got up, and I figured maybe playing the Yankees, that would come out. They'd play their best game, but I didn't see it. But James Paxton the other night did shut him down. His stuff was absolutely electric. It was nasty. But and then going to the Yankees, all these injuries, Clint Frazier has really stepped up. I'm loving Clint, and I heard his post game yesterday. He is really, really confident. What I'm loving,
he's confident, borderline cocky, and when. I could understand why that'd be a deterrent for some people, but it's not like he's, not showing anything. Like, I understand, I rip on Greg Bird. Like, if it was Greg Bird doing that, I'd have an issue, because it's not. Clinton Frazier has performed.
Yeah.
Please start that guy over Brent Gardner. 4 for 4. Thank you very much.
He said Gardner stepped up.
Which I was shocked. I was like, one of those things where I'm like, am I seeing this right? Yeah. I had to rewind. I'm like, it's Brent Gardner, right? There it is. I'll take it.
Yeah, so there's hopefully nobody gets hurt, because this is really starting to get it's the injury bug is just hovering over Yankee Stadium right now.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the trainer that's been there for a while? Whatever his name is, he's probably working. He probably ain't sleeping.
Yeah,
he's like, got to help out him. Got to help out him, and I'm helping out the whole squad. Yeah. But the one thing that's kind of not surprising, because he said that he was a very good fielder, and that was his strength. I think it's Urshel, is that his name, the third baseman?
Yeah, that great play on Tuesday night.
That's an insane thing. Falling down. It's not like he fell down and his accuracy suffered because of it. That thing was still laser pinpoint accuracy, and there was no issue. It's like, that is insane. Now, I feel like that, even though he's not the best batter in the world and the best hitter, I think people are kind of getting a little bit of a feeling like, they wish at least it'd be nice if he could be to that extent fielding. I mean, I'd love that. Obviously, the more the merrier, but at least be something, because it's like, even though Indor gives you great, batting wise, fielding, he's spotty. With this guy, he's not the best batter, but he's giving you phenomenal defense. I mean, he's a very good defensive third baseman, but the Red Sox, you are struggling. That is not pretty. And the reason why obviously the Yankees are head and shoulders in a better spot than the Red Sox, is the fact that, obviously, I said, the Yankees, everyone is hurt. Everyone on the team's hurt. Who's really hurt that's known on the Red Sox?
No one really.
Exactly. Sale is doing terrible. Mookie Betts is okay, but ain't MVP status. Jeter Martinez is getting him something. I mean, it ain't looking pretty at all.
No, not at all. So I promise this. I'll wrap up the show talking a little bit of playoff hockey, and I'll let you and Justin do most of it. But last night, the Bruins even their series with the Maple Leafs, a 2-2 with a 6-4 victory, and that series is tied 2-2. And Justin, what are your thoughts on that?
It's been a good series. It's been pretty even. Both teams have been pretty even so far, I think, from the first two. Mitch Marner killed them that game one with that penalty shot. That was pretty much the game on game one.
I was mad, to put it lightly. Very mad about that.
It's been pretty even, and especially Saturday night. It was very, very chippy. That hit on Kadri was Kadri in that hit. That was dirty. He was rightfully so suspended for the rest of the series. The Bruins announcers were not very happy after that game. Well,
I love the fact that real quick about that hit is that he kind of did. When someone is about to do something wrong, like they're trying, like they're about to steal something, and they look around like, is anyone looking? He did that. He's like.
Yeah, he sat there.
Is anyone looking? Then he's like, oh, no one's looking. Boom!
It's like he sat there. He watched the hit.
Dude,
he just
like, come on.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Charwin, or it might have been Charwin went over to grab, and he's like holding on to the Rusk, like I ain't letting go because 6'9" Charles about to beat me in the dust.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that the Bruins could legitimately be up 3-1 relatively easy in this series. I mean, game one they let up that breakaway when you're on a power play. Yeah. What are you doing?
You can't do that. Yeah.
And then you let actually then I think it was a tripping whatever it was, penalty shot, and then it goes in. That was a killer. That was essentially game over.
Yeah.
Game one, game two, they came back. It's like hallelujah.
They played well.
Yep. Game three, they were shorthanded. There was one. I think it was a goal for them to go up 3-1. Or sorry, for the Maple Leafs to go up 3-1. It was along the boards. There was like Bergeron and here. Then there was a Maple Leafs player behind him, and then there was like another Bruins player. Not sure who. And you should easily play a simple 2-on-1 game and clear the puck. Bergeron was able to clear the puck, kind of bounce out towards like the middle of the ice, and goal. And it's just like, guys, and especially Bergeron. He's probably one of the best, if not the best, defensive players in the league, especially on the like winger center, and he's a super smart veteran guy. It's like, I gotta see you do better than that, dude. Like, I'm not expecting that from you. And then at the end, like Pastrnak, I think let off like 2-3 slap shots and just destroyed that guy's leg in the front. I'm like, he's probably like after the game, he's like, I'm in the ice tub. That hurts. Yeah. But it's like that happens. Just like, come on, don't go down 3-1. Please, for love of God. And they wanted to.
They tried.
You have 2. You hit a hot 2-0 quick, and it's like, okay, good. Then they blew it. I'm like, 2-2, wonderful. Then it gets, where they grabbed the lead, right back pretty quick in the second period. 2 goals by Pastrnak. And I'm like, okay, good. You got it again. And they scored in the third period. I'm like, good. You should just put this game away. They feel like they kind of sat back on the lead, which in hockey is the ultimate sin. You do not sit on a lead. I don't care what it is. Once you have a final buzzer, or play until a final buzzer goes off. At that point, stop. Or you don't stop, and then you keep going. Then you let it. We're gonna go by Matthews, and then Dermott. And it's like, guys, come on. And then for that when they pulled the goalie, that was not looking great. They were just fending off, just like, get the puck clear, get the puck clear. And Nordstrom finally put the game away. But the shocker, I think we can all agree, you have the Tampa Bay Lightning. They, I believe, was tied the record for wins in a season at this point. And then you tied for wins in a season, and you get swept by the Blue Jackets. Aren't scrubs. They have good players. Seth Jones is one of the better defensemen in the league. You got swept. Yeah. What are you doing?
Tortorella did a great job. They were Friday night. It was like they were this like 1-2-2 that whatever Blue Jackets were doing in the neutral zone. It was just causing turnovers. And it was the smartest thing. John Tortorella had a great game plan. It was just forcing turnovers. Tampa could not get in their own zone.
They didn't even try to make adjustments.
No, they did. They were outscored 19-5 in that first period of game one, where they went up. Tampa went up 3-0, and it just looked like they shut down. But I heard before the game they had a black party outside, and they brought the Stanley Cup, which is probably you jinxed yourself.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah, you deserve that at that point. But it was like with the Lightning, you have Stamkos as one of the better players in the whole league. You have a Kucherov is a very good player who got himself suspended. You can't do it, dude. Playoffs, come on now. Same thing, Kadri. Come on, playoffs. You don't do that. I can live with you doing a regular season. Playoffs, that's a no-go. And then you have Hedman. It's like, what are you guys doing? How do you? It would almost be like if best way I could say if someone like the 2007 Patriots when it went 18-1, but they had the undefeated regular season. It's like if they would have got destroyed first, divisional round by
Jacksonville.
Someone. Yeah, it's like, what are you? Yeah. What is going? That's something that gets a coach fired.
Yeah,
I don't blame him at that point. I mean, you cannot do that. And my favorite part of the whole thing is I'm not sure about the Blue Jackets player, but after actually once the series is over, they all shake hands, even though probably 99% of the players don't want to. There was one guy, the Blue Jackets player, who was kind of laughing. I believe it was in Kucherov's face. I don't know if it was the guy that that Kucherov got suspended for, but he was laughing and saying that was awkward, very awkward and hilarious. But Kucherov, he's like, "Ooh, I want to swing, but he's gonna get in trouble. He's gonna get fined. He's gonna get suspended." But I mean, choke city.
Did you see the fans too that poured the beer on John Tortorella during Game 4?
Was he happy? I don't think he was.
Yeah, I love Tortorella. I was kind of pissed that the Rangers fired him a couple years ago. I wasn't very happy. I wasn't very happy that the Rangers have fired him.
He's one of those guys where he is no nonsense to the fullest. He will yell and just yell at you. And I love some of the best like sports thing period is just look how mic'd up John Tortorella. Don't watch it around kids. Because you don't want him to hear half the stuff he says. Yeah. But that dude is just, he does not care about anyone. It was just when he was on some pregame shows, like when they were doing like more, I don't know, some like more like the gimmicky stuff. He's like, "Why are we doing this? Who cares?" But I love it. To me, I kind of like the way this play's been going. It's been fun and it's exciting to us with the Lightning being out.
And then 1-seed Calgary's on 3-1 in Colorado. So
yeah,
we'll see both 1-seed.
Good luck against Colorado.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. So that's going to wrap it up this week for Sports Talk with RKJ. For my co-hosts Justin D'Onofrio and Kyle Galuli, I'm Steve Risser. We'll be back next week for our NFL Draft Special. Have a great weekend, everybody. And that'll probably be Kyle's favorite show.